show is brought to you by the Black Business School, the #1 black wealth institution on earth. To learn how to invest in the stock market for free, please visit firstshareofstock.com. That's firstshareofstock.com. And that link is at the top line of the description box. You got my personal recommendation on that. firstshareofstock.com.
They know what they signed up for. And it's sad because they're taking away greats. They're taking away great talent. You know what I mean? And the worst part about that is people don't seem to flourish until they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I ain't even know that's who I was listening to the whole time. And now you know because they got murdered or something. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the sad part. And the kids kind of like, I ain't gonna say they glorifying it, but they don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know how serious this game is. You know, and I just feel like, you know, I mean, I get it. I got a gun. I go with my gun everywhere. You know what I mean? You don't hear me talking about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm in Georgia. I'm in a legal gun state. So, so like if it get to that point, then that's what's gonna happen. But, yeah, man. I mean, how you fix it?
Yeah, we don't got the answer.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the question. Like, how do you fix it?
Well,
last time you was here, I wanted to ask you about the Double Up tour. You brought it up a few minutes ago. That's your first tour, the Double Up tour?
That's the first tour I got paid on, yeah.
How was that? How crazy was that back then? I think it was like 08, 07 maybe, probably.
Man, it was good. I think that was like 08.
Okay.
08, 09. I mean, it was good. Like, I mean, for me, you know, pre all the problems, like I'm on tour with R.Kelly. You know what I mean? Like, but not really pre all the problems because yeah, I had some other stuff going on. But you know what I'm saying? It was like I'm on tour with R.Kelly. You know what I mean? And I was the only other. That's funny because Neo was on the tour at first.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that. So, like Neo's a great performer, bro, and he wrote a few songs for me. But like Neo, he got up on stage cutting up. R.Kelly was like, "No, sir, you got to go, buddy." You know what I mean? What? R.Kelly like, "No, sir, this is my tour, bro." You know, I mean, I'm the new guy, so he wasn't even thinking about me. You know what I'm saying? But Neo got up there because Neo was the one that went on, I think, before him. You know what I'm saying? Neo's up there cutting up, bro. And
damn.
Yeah, he did like maybe 2 nights with us. We was like, "What happened to Neo?"
Wow.
So with that being said, do you there was a debate that came up. You brought R. Kelly up. A debate that came up. Should his music, do you think, be tossed out now that he, you know, been convicted? Now, do you still feel like people should really rock with his music? In your personal opinion?
I mean, that's a hard debate to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With me having daughters, I look at it different. But at the same time, my daughters would have never been in that situation. So I can't necessarily blame the disease. Because I mean, at the end of the day, the man got a disease. It ain't a I don't think it's a he don't care. It's just that's a disease, bro. You know what I mean? So to just take out that body of work is because then you got, if y'all gonna do that, I put it like this. If they're gonna stop playing his music, then they need to stop playing every song he wrote. And let's see how the industry feel about that.
Shit.
Let's say that. And I just thought about that. Let's say that.
That's a fact. You heard it here first. Now let me ask you this though, because I think in a lot of corners, R. Kelly, barring all the personal shit and all the nasty shit that he's allegedly or accused of doing, or why he's currently behind bars of doing, for sure. A lot of people got him as the king of R&B, right? So let's just say we got him as the king of R&B. He was that petty to where Neo had him, I don't want to say insecure, but insecure to where he was like, "Nah, bro, you put on the show too much. You got to get the fuck off."
Neo was a beast, though. He still is.
But I mean, and Neo is, no doubt. Yeah. But that's R. Kelly, though.
And this is when, I don't know if you've seen the show recently, because before, like when Neo first came out, he was always a great performer, but he wasn't doing all the like, he up there got a whole background dancers. I'm talking about like, is that Mike? Like he was on that kind of,
wow.
That's how he was filling up the stage. And yeah, I mean, some things you can't take away from certain people, and I think Neo had him on the ropes. He had to get him out of there. You know what I mean? I think he told himself, "I don't want to do this for 20 dates." You know what I mean?
So, turn it up like that. That's dope.
Now I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe Neo just left, but all I know is he was putting on a good show. Maybe he was putting on a good show, and all I know is next thing you know, he wasn't there. So
Man.
I never got the particulars, but I heard that's why. That was a rumor. That was a tour rumor, but
What do you rank Jay Holiday among the greats in R&B? Like those names, R. Kelly, Neos, whoever.
Man, well, I'm always put myself number one, but
No doubt.
I mean, that's kind of hard to say because it's like if you ask me like a top five, my top five gonna be my top five. So I don't, and these are people that even to this day, it's people I didn't get a chance to meet. Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway, Teddy Pendergrass. Like it's a lot of that's a hard one, bro. I don't know. Just mention me in the conversation. I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I don't give me the line up here, man.
I think that kind of guys, you guys were kind of like the last great era of R&B. And I'm talking you, I'm talking Tank, I'm talking Neo, like you just said, Mario. I want to throw him in there. A lot of great R&B singers. Y'all definitely, are in the conversation when it comes to the great R&B because y'all were the last ones that I know that I could really remember. You know what I mean? So salute to you. So let's talk about, in closing, your album again, man. You got Time dropping February 7th. You got single 0 to 60 out now. Yeah. You dropped what was the single you dropped earlier in the year? What was that called?
That was
Ride. That's right. Yeah. My bad. Yep, you dropped Ride earlier. So talk about it, man. Talk about the motivation behind the singles and tell people why they should go ahead and listen to Jay Holiday's 4th album, Time.
Man, first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? When you hear the album, of course, when you listen to the title track, Time, you'll understand where I'm going with it. And it's basically like you gotta realize time is one of the most important parts of life. It ain't money, it ain't love, it ain't none of that. It ain't the cars, it ain't the house, it's time. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got time to figure all the rest of that stuff out. But time is the most important part. And I think I'm just trying to get people to realize, like, within this pandemic, people realize how much they wasn't spending the time doing the stuff that they missed. You know what I'm saying? And I think people took a lot of stuff for granted. And I'm gonna keep saying this. We keep asking for time, but we keep wasting it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to just listen to it. It's real R&B. So I'm gonna always stay R&B. And you know what I'm saying, man? Use your time wisely, man. You know what I mean? Like I had to remember what time this interview was. You know what I mean?
That's both, brother.
Everybody say times at least once or twice a day. Time to get up. What time is it? You know what I mean? So it's just trying to get people to understand that, man, what if we don't come out of this pandemic? How you gonna use your time? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think we are, but not to try to say we not. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just, man, you gotta spend time loving, spend time giving. You know what I'm saying? Spend time, you gotta spend time making money, but at the end of the day, it's still time, man.
My last question is gonna be, how do you like the new, streaming platforms? Because when you came out, we didn't really have the titles, the iTunes and all that stuff like that, Apple. How do you feel about streaming now as compared to record sales back then?
Well, I it's a catch-22 for me because I might hop on Spotify or something and just be like, what they playing on my station or whatever. And then I hear people that I grew up looking up to, and I'm like, oh,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like they on my station. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously there's companies that place those songs or whatever, but that's big for somebody from where I come from to be able to be mentioned with the Raheem Devons and the Genuines and the Tanks. You know what I'm saying? Like I looked up to them people, but then it's like the flip side to that is everybody think they're a star now. Like you don't gotta get in front of nobody. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna throw no names out there, but you'll see people major songs and then they get on stage and they can't take the critique of their stage show because that's what entertainment is about. You know what I'm saying? DMX drove the crowd crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was undeniable on stage. Jay-Z, Kendrick, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't have to get in front of these crowds no more because sometimes streaming is all they got. You know what I mean? So I think we kind of losing, and that's what takes me back to the passion is lost. Like we losing sight of what's a superstar, because everybody can't be superstars. You know what I mean? Or what's the star in general? They got star quality, or they just got good records and they look good, or they dress good. So they got the whole package, you know. So I think streaming is kind of muddying up how we see artists. But I mean, I think it's great. You know what I mean? On the flip side to that, you know, African American community, they almost can't stop us now. You know what I mean? Like they almost can't stop us now. Like they're gonna stream. We out streaming a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's great. You know what I mean? Because they don't control the platform no more. You know what I mean? So it's catch-22, man.
Indeed, man. Definitely appreciate your time. We got Jay Holiday on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, DC Zone, man. Go ahead and drop your social media information. And what you think the Washington football team new name gonna be, man? I'm a fan. I'm a season ticket holder, man. I want to know from a DC.
Man, at this point, man, they might as well just keep it the football team. You changed it, you could have changed it to the name then. You know what I mean? While you playing, I got on Redskin socks right now. I was like, man, I'm gonna put my feet on camera.
Nah, you good, brother.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like it's still people making Redskins stuff, so they're gonna be the Redskins for me forever. I can get online right now and buy some Redskins. It might not be official NFL, but it's gonna be Redskins.
Still Redskins, so collect that, John.
But now I don't know, man. They could call us I don't know, man. The Red Hawks, the Arrows, anything, like whatever. To me, it don't matter. They're gonna be my team. I'm gonna rock with them regardless.
Word. We're going to find out, man, February 2nd. We appreciate your time, brother. Jay Holiday on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Always a pleasure, man.
Thank you, man.
Salute.
I appreciate y'all.